afternoon. I am Zoe Craven, and I got a wonderful treasure out of my garden the other day. This is a very interesting plant. This is something called cactus plant. And you see these green little stems. These are called cacti lizardless. And that means that the cacti lizardless was born in the lizard family. And it is a very real treat to work with cacti. But I found this out of my garden, and I was astonished when I found this. Now, you can see these pricklies. Now, the reason those pricklies is because you know cactus. You've probably been to the desert, and you saw cacti that had pricklies on them. And you want to be really careful, because when I traveled to the desert, I look around, but I don't look very carefully, and whenever I put my finger out, I get a little scab on my finger that is a cacti. But this one seems to be not a scab at all, because the little sharp marks are very, very loose and very untightly. So this is a type of plant which is recently made on display. Now this plant can be found in the French Riviera, in the gardens of your dreams, or it could be found in a nice cactus plant with nice seconde filling of a forest of cacti, or it can be found near the seaside, on the sea. Well, that would be no sense, because cacti are not on the sea. But I never heard of a cacti fish. Now, a cacti fish can communicate, but the cacti fish is not the nicest fish. The teeth are sharp, and it can really scare you and snatch you and gobble you up. So you want to be really careful around cacti fishes, cacti lizards, cacti snakes, anything fish-wise that's cacti. So this is a cacti plant, and the real rhyme or reason why this is a cacti plant is because the soil underneath keeps it from growing in the summer to the fall time. This is a plant that was made in very little attics, because some of these leaves are smaller than the ones underneath. So, I know you must not thinking, but this leaf is not appropriate for a little simple forest leaf, because this leaf is way too exotic. Now, whenever I go to Hawaii, you might find this in Hawaii, or you might find it, but it's very popular in Hawaii, and you can either make a wonderful recipe, a cacti curry. You could either get out the sharpness and use what's left inside to make a cacti leaf. And this is great for many things, especially making a cake, cacti cake. Now, there's no such thing. Now, you don't use the pricklies. Now, you really have to be careful when you have cacti cake, because if the cook misses the little pricklies, there's going to be sores around your tongue. Now, this is my tongue, and if you put your sores on your tongue, it's going to hurt for many times, and then you're going to have to deal with a lot of other things. So, this is a plant that grows very nicely. The soil underneath keeps it warm in the summer, winter, fall, and spring. But in the winter time, it's cold, you can't grow anything, that. I know people saying that they can't grow it, but here is a way you can grow it. This is some water. This is just a full cup of water now. Now, what you want to do is you want to pour the water into a nice little mug, a jug, and then leave it there for a night. And after it is done, this is what it looks like after just 1 second. You want to scrape, just take little bits of soil and put it in. and then you put your plant in, and the water has a spell in there. I put some beet seeds, and the reason I'm doing beet seeds is because beet seeds help this plant survive. So sprinkle a little soil in the sunshine, and then put it out for eternity. Now, after you do that, you obviously want to warm the water ahead of time, so the water will not stick. Now, you let the excess water fall onto your tray, then the soil will be left behind, and then this leaf will be saved. Now, this cacti is not going to be the best, because if you save this out, then you need to really be careful. Now, all I do is I sprinkle some soil on the tops of the cacti, or the bottoms. And then what that does is it puts a little wall cup there. So you leave a cup there for twice an hour. Then, when you're ready to sow the cacti, you take the cup off, look inside. If there's any soil in there, then that is not very good, because the soil in this plant comes from food desert. Food deserts are not the best things to do, because they have many junk things, and the sand came from that, and if you put it in, that will lead you very safe, and you will get very sick, because this is mixed with poison, blood from a fish, cold-blooded sweat, and it's made from manure. So you don't want to mess with the soil. That is very unappealing and very unappetizing to eat. So these leaves grow in the fall time, and this grows in the spring, and everything gets toned out nicely. So to put this leaf in somewhere desolate, I take this leaf and I put it outside. Now, the reason I want to do it outside is because outside is cold. The water is cold, and the outside is colder than I've ever mentioned. So, what we want to do is we want to stick it out there, and then it'll sit up in the outside and be nice and tender in the inside. So, there we have it. To save cacti from its very unabandoned figures with the Sharpies, which you really want to be careful with those. This is going to be something that you can make for millions of days. You can make a lot of these. I have many varieties of produce. And you can do the same exact thing with water, soil, and put it in a cacti plant. That is my tip of the day of how to save a glorious, left alone, abandoned cacti plant. And until I see you and you got to again, I am Junie Craven, Wound.